gonna say we ain't tell him that we was in here.
It's in the group chat. I don't.
I know he was like, nah, y'all ain't say come. Y'all ain't tell me it was okay. But you know him. Thought it was too late.
Please, Moose be having excuses. But yeah, let's get into it. Welcome to, I want to say, episode 42, League with No Name podcast. It's your boy Beans. We got J.A. per usual. We got special guest Cheese making an appearance tonight. Good to have you with us.
Whatever, bro.
All right, so we can jump right into it. I didn't realize till after the episode last time that we never got into any DWat talk. And that's been like the major story in football up to this point. So we definitely got to touch on that. So just going back to the beginning of it, when y'all first heard the initial reports of him and his allegations, what he was into, what were your initial thoughts on that? Jay, I'll start with you.
I gotta be careful how I say this, because you don't want to seem like it's going one way or another. But this the person that we've seen DWat be like to Houston, the community. I'm just like, all right, like not DWat. Like it just doesn't seem like his character. But I mean, you can't put that past guys. The first couple, I really was just like, all right, we'll see what's up. And then once it got up into like the 20 range, like, yo, like what type of monster this is? Like it's still. I mean, I never knew how to feel about it because, like, it's just like a demeanor or a side that we've never seen from DWat. Like, everything we heard from DWat is always good news, whether it was him giving his first game check to, like, workers for the Texans or is DWat doing something for, like, giving back, from being from Georgia. Like, I don't know, man. So it's hard. I really don't know what this – it's shocking, honestly, because if it is true, like, yo, that's wild. Like he did all this during the pandemic, bro. Like you a wild boy, son. Like
he did it all with a mask on.
He probably didn't have a mask either, bro. I doubt it. So they saw his face because he got DM'd. I don't know, man. I just think we just wait and see how it plays out. It doesn't look well, I guess. From just what was it like 22 people now, like 22 lawsuits.
I think so.
Yeah,
definitely.
I know they just posted something today, like his Larry put something today about, having facts and stuff, and they claim he's innocent. So, I mean, for his sake, I hope so. But if he's not, man, like, he's got to pray for the women, too, that, he's, allegedly assaulted and everything and harassed. So, I mean, I don't really got too much to say. It's kind of sad either way because, honestly, I don't think he'll play football this year either. Like, they have to do something. There's no way you can play football, like, with that many allegations, and that's a conduct code itself anyway. So yeah, it's a sad story both sides, man, for the women and for him.
Yeah, definitely is not the guy that you expect to hear this news coming out about. So Cheese, what were your initial feelings and how you feel about it now?
I ain't gonna lie, you already know what I thought. He ain't do it. That was my initial thought. Like, come on, civil suit, one white girl. We saw his girl. We like, nah, this ain't. They just looking for a check. I don't know. He better hire your sister, that pain and suffering lawyer. He might get some bread back. Nah, but at first, I didn't think he did it. Like, we hear it way too often now. Somebody famous. All these women come up, we like, here we go again. But due process and all that, you got it's. I mean, now with 20-something, I'm like, dog, you did something. Ain't no way 20 random women just gonna say you did something. You did. It might have been consensual, but you did something. So it's, man.
I think you can't just find 20 women off the street that's just gonna be like, yeah, like he did it. Like it's just that's too crazy. Like it's too much at stake to just be saying 20 women.
But a civil suit just mean they're looking for bread, right?
Pretty much. So
see, that's the iffy part to me. Like, why y'all just looking for bread? Like, if he really did that,
like, what is money gonna do to you? Like, it ain't gonna restore
like,
anything. Like.
What Jay say? How y'all gonna equate your pain? I forgot what track that was. It was an old one. I like that Jay said. One or two. I got one or two Rangers.
So, what do you think about the timing of it though? Because clearly this has been
You know
going
how I
on
feel.
for some time.
Sucks.
And it's just coming out now when things seem to get a little iffy between the Texans and DWat. What do you think about the timing?
Timing is what really had me feeling like he didn't do it. Because I'm like, all right, DWat was cool. Whole season, he ain't say nothing. End of season happens, nothing's come out. Soon as DWat say, nah, I don't want to be with him. Like, he never really came out and said it until, like, after a while. But, like, there was reports that he didn't want to be back with them and he's good. And other Texans telling him, even Andre Johnson telling him, like, man, don't go back. I think once he wanted out, I think that's when it just seems like it just all felt, unless this is a really crazy coincidence, but just how that happened, like, of him wanting to be out, and then all of a sudden it's just, all right, well, yeah, he did this. I'm like, wait, hold on. Like, I get you don't come out first. Like, a lot of people don't come out when it first happened, whether it's trauma or just being scared to identify yourself. But, bro, to do that right now, like, after he won it, like, I'm pretty sure if he said, like, I'm locked in for Houston after they got the coach, I don't see this happening. But I don't know, man. It could just be a wild coincidence or something's up.
So
that's one thing. I don't think it's a coincidence at all.
To say that if he didn't come out with the statements about not wanting to be there or whatever, that this doesn't happen, that alludes to the fact that the Texans in some form or fashion had something to do with this. No?
I think they do. Honestly, in my heart, I feel the Texans had something, at least a bit, like, contact someone to have, like, just name shame. Like, it's just throw dirt on them, man. Like, it just seems that way. I mean, I hope that's not the case, but it's just sloppy on both sides because there's a chance that he could have done it too. So you got to be careful how you try to defend him when he could be the actual person that was actually doing this, you know what I mean? And not be, someone setting him up. So it was just, I don't know. It all happened just weird, man. Just because people have asked for trades and we don't see this, but, like, this is a different spin.
This is the team. This is the team whose owner said you can't let the prisoners run to jail.
He died though. Rest in peace. But still safe too.
He died. He died, but
but
it's
the
still,
family
it's still with
down.
that family.
Yeah.
That is still with that family. That don't go nowhere. And you in the South, and he a black quarterback. Nah, sorry, they had something to do with that. They pulling some type of strings. Either he did it and they hid it, or they behind it.
They're wrong too, though. I mean, they're not wrong saying, but if they knew he did it and you threw it under the rug because he's your quarterback, that still doesn't give you
exactly
any, you know what I mean? Like, you're just as wrong as him. He's just not going to play football anymore. But they could give shares to, part ownership to somebody else in the family. Like, all right, well, I can't be here. You can pass that off. DWat may never play football again if that's true. So it's definitely it definitely holds differently for them. Like, they could walk away from that. He'll never be the same. Like,
that's why it don't make no sense that 20 plus come in the 1 month span, but nobody came before that.
That's a wild massage, bro.
As soon as he say he don't want to play for them, that makes no sense. It's
what you think, Ho?
What
got a little Bill Cosby vibes to me.
As far as what Chi just said about the number, I think it really only takes the first one or two, because if this really happened, it's going to be women that don't want to tell their story until they see other people coming out and telling their story. So that part of it, I can understand, but it's just a matter of, did this really happen or did it not? And I was going to say before I got into it, there was the theory in the chat that, the Texans knew about this from the beginning. But if he would have stayed, they would have just continued to cover it up. But since he decided he wanted
to go, which is even sicker. Like,
so if that's the case, which does make a lot of sense, everybody's at fault. But like you said, DWat's career is going to be ruined, and then the Texans are still going to be the Texans. But
like, the GM could have known, but, like, we won't know the GM walking down the street from Ken Paint. So you're good. Like, DWat, you can't show up anywhere. Like, you gonna know DWat. So it definitely hits differently if this is all true. But
that 30 for 30 gonna be crazy.
So
that's gonna be wild 30 for 30.
Yeah, I know we kind of are still in the middle of it. It's still a lot of information that got to come out. But if you had to guess right now, how do you think this story ends? Cheese.
DWat doesn't put on a jersey again.
Ever.
That's the only. How else is it gonna go? I don't see it any other way. I think DWat's done, unless it's like he has proof that he did nothing. It was all consensual or whatever happens, and he's clear. I don't think he puts on another jersey because it's like Ray Rice. Like you can't come back from that in the NFL.
The way the NFL wants it now is like they want you to basically suffer for your decisions of bad decisions. So, and they have to make an example out of you because they've gotten so much backlash of not taking care of prior situations, whether it was domestic violence or sexual assault, but we just seen, the whole Wheeler thing, almost killing his girlfriend. So putting other females in that position, like DWat, you're gonna suffer now. Whether anything happens to him, they gotta make an example just to show like they are carrying on with, the message they're trying to get across. So I mean, DWat's adamant that he didn't do it though. Like they dropped something today saying he still stands by what he said. Like he never done anything that wasn't in a consensual manner. So how it ends, I mean, I couldn't even tell you honestly because I felt like there's just so much more that we don't know that I can't even.
Right.
Like every time we posted an article, we like, I don't know, DWat. They be like, nah, he good. Like, he be like, DWat, yeah, you a freak, DWat. I don't know, man. Like, that's chat lingo, freak. Once you get called a freak in the chat, man, that's it. So, you got life.
So, hypothetically, let's say he's able to prove that he didn't do all of this. He gets acquitted after, I don't know, a year. Does he get another chance to play, or is his reputation
He's going to Philly. He going to Philly. Philly going to chase him as soon as they find out.
He going back home. He going to Atlanta. He going home. Matt Ryan done.
You can't come on. He's trying to make. I'm not Moose though, so I'm not even going to entertain you. Oh man, if he's good, he is on the first flight out of Houston as soon as it clears.
He's not making it a training camp.
He will never. I will say this: he will never suit up for Houston again, though.
I can see that.
Definite.
That's done. That 4 is done. They could put that in Marshalls.
But I'm saying more so like, are other teams still not gonna want to have to deal with whatever baggage might still come along with him, even though he got
innocent? No.
If Vic can come back from that dog stuff, and you see how they just glided him in, like, you got McNabb here.
Yeah,
we could bring Vic
in. You gotta take that backup role. You gotta earn it. You gotta go.
He may not go to jail, so he may not. I mean, he may miss a season, but Vic missed 2 years, and he still ended up being a starter with the baggage, and he still hasn't been forgiven.
That's true.
If it's clear that DWat didn't do anything wrong, like not even one person, because one is too much already, because like you still broke, you broke the law, so. If DWat is clear of everything and didn't do anything, and it comes back like he was telling the truth for everything, DWat's out. Like teams are gonna run to DWat because he's still 25, if that.
Yeah, he's still young.
Maybe that's a franchise quarterback.
I guess I would wonder like if teams would be concerned about, even if he gets off from these, is there at some point more women gonna come out, and because we kind of know even if he's not assaulting them, he's kind of into some stuff that might get tricky down the line.
Yeah, so he's got to – I think there will be a point where they have to come to an agreement of, like, how he's, like, handling the women. Like, if this comes up, like, we're going to have to suspend you or we're going to let you go. Like, there's, like, zero tolerance with anything. You're in DM saying, like, come here and, massage. Like, you can't do that. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, for a franchise quarterback to get that money that he's getting, he should have had his own personal masseuse. And that's that. Like, you ain't going to massage parlors, bro. Like, you guarantee, like, 70 mil? Like, for what? Like, that's stuff we do.
Got
like,
little fetishes, man.
Nah, but that means you got a problem. That means you need help because most athletes don't want to be in different places. Like, they want their thing, and like that's mine. Like, you wouldn't never see Brown like, oh, I'm about to go check this. Like, come on, you like he on Groupon looking up massage therapy, bro. Like, Brown ain't about to go to, you know what I mean, the Spy Club, and then he about to go to massage. Like, come on, bro. Like, you got enough money to go. Like, yo, you come to me. Like, And if he's not being, at least appropriate in those like situations, then like he got to pay for it because you're making women uncomfortable. So I think there's definitely going to get to a point where they're going to have to talk to him and like let them know like we can't do this. Like we're not having it, and they got to set a line for him because clearly. I mean, but I guess now the women just can't come out. They have to identify themselves. So that makes a different ballgame too, because you're gonna have to just, you can say what you said, but if you ain't coming forward, then like they're not taking it serious. So I guess they have to. So we'll see. Just pray for the best, man. Just pray for the right outcome. Honestly, I mean, you can't really go either way. It's just let the cards fall.
It's always confusing to me when we see athletes in these type of situations, and maybe because we're not living that lifestyle, but it always seems like they could have any woman they want consensually. They don't need to go above and beyond to do anything. They can have whoever they want pretty much. And women that are, well, I don't want to sound bad, but 10 times better than what we are seeing come out right now.
Right. It's like, yo, like, bro, it's like, you could go get that. Like, you got the money. Like, I mean, even if you had to pay, like, you got the money. So, like, to do what you're doing, and, like, it's like, for real? Like, that's something we could get up and do. G, like, yo, man, come on, like, and it's not worth. Honestly, it's not worth it. When you get guaranteed money, and then like they could literally just drop. Like, it's not worth it. Whether you got that money or not, it's not worth losing like your reputation, like your freedom. Like, it's just
you're risking a lot with that.
A whole lot.
That type of party, like I'd rather, like, come on, I'm Paul Pierce in the crib. Like, I'm not.
Yo, come on, man. It's just this guy.
You should be here making some money. Like, come on, sir. All hands was to himself.
You getting the shape up? You getting the shape up too?
Yeah, man, Paul was like, man, hey, you should be here making money. Like, Paul didn't touch nobody. It was
Paul, right?
Paul hands was online. Hey, the truth. Hey, the truth, bro. Don't do that. Hey, the truth. Hey, just let the truth be.
This guy, Paul, man.
Hey, he didn't touch nobody though. Paul said, man, you should be here making money.
All right, so let's move on to something a little less deep. We dropped the pre-draft rankings on IG. Make sure y'all check that out. One was a couple weeks ago. One we did just today. So, Cheese, I'm gonna ask you, and I know the answer already, but I'm gonna let you explain. You got the Titans in your top 10. Is that biased, or are they legitimately a top 10 team at this point on paper?
On paper, yeah, we top 10. We cover up our biggest holes. Every team got a couple holes right now, except for the Bucks. Every team except for the Bucks got a couple holes right now. But I mean, yeah, we got all our core guys, man. We ain't losing nobody major. I mean, Malcolm Butler going, but it's Malcolm Butler. He ain't got a $6 million deal, huh? Cardinals.
Where he go? Cardinals?
Yeah, Cardinals. I think he got 2.8 guarantee, and he can make up the 6. I mean, we ain't paying him 14. I take that bread away and go get Bud Dupree. You know what I mean?
But Bud Dupree. Right.
Listen. It's pass rushers making $27 million this year. He making 16. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
They get Big 10.
Yo, chill. It was 9.5, bro. Come on.
It was clowny 15. I'm quiet.
It was 13, man. Why you running it up? Nah. Now, on a serious note, I think 10 it's debatable. It might be a little biased because I know my team roster, so I know the little stuff and I know who we still got, and I know what to expect compared to what last year's team did. But I mean, it's teams like other teams I put in there like the Steelers. They lost Bud Dupree, Nelson their corner, Pouncey retired. They got a few holes as well. The Ravens lost both of their pass rushers, and Judon and Ngakoue went to the Raiders. So, I mean, every team has holes right now.
Ravens always draft, and then
they know how to draft.
They let them dudes walk.
Yeah, so they always let them walk. So
don't pay nobody.
I mean, it's pre-draft rankings. So I mean, I'm pretty sure a team like the Ravens, like we just said, who knows how to draft, who has a history of drafting outside linebackers and linebackers in general, like they can replace those walk players, the players that walk. So, I mean, we have a couple holes: corner, wide receiver, and a tight end. We need that for sure. I think Brevin Jordan.
Donald gone. Yeah, your boy gone. Yeah, man.
It might be Bateman. It might be Bateman, but I don't think JC. If JC landed like 13, 14, J. Rob
Bro,
would
y'all
trade
lost
up.
everything. Y'all lost bro. Y'all not top 10.
Yo, yes we are. Yo, we got a
Only
2,000
people
yard
back
rusher,
is
1,000-yard
Tannehill and
receiver, a 4,000 yard passer. Our defense was fucking 32nd. So
who your OC? Who your OC now?
he was an OC for the what is it, Downing? Todd Downing, I think. I think that's his name. He was
Y'all back some Jake Locker Texans, man.
Yeah, don't do that.
Titans, I mean, my fault. I ain't mean Texans. Y'all back some Jake Locker Texans, man.
We had Bishop Sankey. We had Bishop Sankey running the ball. It's different here. All we gotta do is turn it to 22, man. That's all we gotta do. Give it to 22, man.
That's the only reason why y'all. That's the only reason why y'all even close to being 10.
Exactly.
But y'all not though. Y'all not. Y'all
we
literally
got our core guys, yo.
Then y'all lose a
AJ
lineman
Brown,
too?
huh?
Y'all lost a lineman?
Oh yeah, we cut one, but we signed two. We got Taylor Lewan back. Taylor Lewan towards ACL. He back. And the backup left tackle, he got hurt right after Taylor Lewan. We was playing with our third left string, left tackle. Third string left tackle, man.
Not 10, bro. I get it, but you're not 10, bro. Yeah, two DBs on the team. Who your linebackers?
Oh, all the linebackers back. And we got Jayon Brown on the back. He took a 1-year deal. We back. I'm trying to tell you, we back, man. We gotta see though.
Huh? What you mean? What does back mean? Back where? What does it back mean?
We back.
Y'all running it back? Y'all running back winning division? What does that mean? I don't get what you're saying. Like, we back. Like, y'all didn't win nothing. I mean, y'all won the division for the first time since 2007. That's cool.
It might. I'm thinking 11-5. You know what I mean? We back. We definitely at the top of the. It's us and the Colts that we battling, but yeah, I think we top 10. We on the back end of top 10, but we top 10.
So another question: we all four of us had the Rams either 5 or 6. Are we? And we had the three of us had them before the Seahawks. So are we giving the Rams a little too much credit without actually seeing anything from them yet?
It's the potential on top of Seattle just
never fix the problem.
Just Seattle don't fix nothing. Like, I mean, they signed a couple of linemen, but like, now offense got to evolve too. They lost Chris Carson, right? Did they, or did he resign?
I don't think he resigned.
Yeah, I think
I'm not sure.
I think I'm not sure.
He might have.
Seattle does the same thing every year.
He's got the answer anyway.
Yeah, so like, and Seattle just does the same thing every year. Like, they come out the gates on fire. So I gave the Rams the benefit of the doubt just for finishing. Like, you know, they had a nice streak going to the playoffs. Played a tough Green Bay team. They played them like they didn't play them bad. Like, they stuck around. Yeah, they didn't win, but like, it was a more competitive game than I thought they would give, even though they lost. But adding a better quarterback, and you get DJat out there. So, I mean, he's older too, but just the potential itself with a second-year running back now with Cam Akers, and you add him with Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, Deshaun Jackson. The defense is already top tier, even though they lost a couple guys. I think they lost John Johnson. Yeah, they lost him to the Browns. So, I think that's just all just what we see. That's like eye candy. Like, that's why I got them there. I mean, they should be good, but we never see Matt Stafford play ball when it really counts. And when he made it to the playoffs, he's never won. So I just gave him that because I think they did more in the offseason than Seattle so far. So I gave them the nod over Seattle. But like, if it was the season, I'll take like Pete Carroll over him, like in a season, like, ranking, because I just feel like, sometimes the Rams just stall out. Like, but I guess now with a new threat, you got to give them a little nod. And it is a great move in the offseason, so I gave them the nod.
Piggyback on what Jay said. I mean, Matthew Stafford, he's a better quarterback than Goff. They got Aaron Donald and Ramsey. You can replace Josh Johnson when you got
They got a young boy over there that's nice. They got a nice young boy they found late in the draft last year.
What is it? You talking about Demarius? What's his
Darius something? I forget his last name. Yeah,
is it Darius Williams? Is it Darius Williams?
It might be.
Yeah, they know how to. They stay with some quality DB. So I mean, who left before that? I think he went to the Raiders the year before. Oh no, they got the linebacker from them last year. So I mean,
left, though.
Yeah, Lamarcus Jr. and Corey Littleton. They both went to the Raiders. Yeah. So they always, and then Josh Johnson
came in without first-round picks, too. Like, they haven't had a first-round pick in a couple of years. So Rams are making it happen with less.
They recruit their talent easily. I wouldn't say easily, but they proved that they can recruit that talent. So
they could draft, too. So, yeah.
I'm not too worried about the Rams. I really think that they are a threat. And it's no bias. Like, I have nothing to do with them. So I really think they'll be perfectly fine with Stafford.
Yeah, they look good on paper. It's definitely an upgrade at quarterback. So we all had LA and Seattle in our top 10. And the three of us, we had the Browns, Steelers, and Ravens also in our top 10. So what division do you think is going to be more competitive this year, the NFC West or the AFC North? I know the Bengals aren't great, but of the two, which is going to be the better division?
NFC West. NFC West.
Yeah, I would say NFC West as well. They got the history. They got the history of, like, after last year, tough, gritty. AFC North, I mean, we get in the back end of Big Ben. Are the Ravens going to expand their offense? It's a lot of questions still with the Ravens and the Steelers. Steelers don't have a running back. What are they going to do? They're going to go 4 wide receiver again all year? They don't really – I mean, they got a couple holes they got to fill. And the Ravens, offensively, if you stop the run, they're average. But NFC West, Rams.
Oh, yeah.
Who else is in there? That's the Cardinals?
Rams,
Cardinals probably had one of the best off seasons so
Niners
far.
Around. The Niners Niners was injured. Niners is around. So.
Niners is back. Nick Bosa back. Trent Williams got re-signed.
Debo healthy.
Debo, everybody healthy. So, I mean, I say NFC West. Cardinals, I like what the Cardinals did. They got a couple on Gabe Jackson from the Raiders. They got J.J. Watt, Malcolm Butler.
They just signed James Conner too.
James Conner, yeah. Well, Kenyon Drake went to the Raiders. Yeah. He got OP probably. So I say NFC West. My vote NFC West.
I would probably go with them just because they got 4 good teams or 3.5 good teams in.
Who's the half?
To me, the Cardinals are kind of sus, but we'll see if they take the next step this year. But you're talking about all the holes on all the teams in the AFC North, but yet you got 3 of them in the top 10. How does that work?
Oh, no. They still talented. Don't get me wrong, they're still talented, but it's glaring holes. Just like I said almost every team but the Bucs have holes. I mean, the Chiefs are number 2, and they don't have a left tackle or a right tackle. But when you have
Pat Mahomes, they signed one of them boys.
They signed one of them.
They signed some. I forget who they signed. I think they one of the top tackles that got released.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah. But when you got Pat Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, you got your core guys. I'm not betting against that. I'm not betting against that. You got Lamar. You still got all your weapons with the Steelers. You still got T.J. Watt. I'm not betting against it. You got Minka Fitzpatrick too, but they let go of some of I would say their quality role players left in free agency on most of those teams. So that affects the team for sure. Like, okay, you could double T.J. Watt now. Now they have to draft somebody or they have to bring in another outside linebacker to replace Dupree production. Pouncey's gone. You have to replace that leadership in the locker room and on the O-line. I mean, Joe Hayden, he's haven't been Joe Hayden that we was used to. He used to be a top 5 corner. He's cornerback number 1. Now cornerback number 2 is gone, but they still got Minka. So, I mean, they should still be top 10. They're still top 10 talent. I mean, those wide receivers are still there. Juju, Claypool, Deontay Johnson, and
they got dogs over there.
Juju. Teams are still talented, but
they got TikTok still. Yeah, Mr. TikTok. Yeah, he's over there.
Yeah, TikTok team. So yeah, they deserve top 10, but it's just a matter of how they gonna put it together. Because it's like we said, it's pre-draft. those post June cuts are still coming. It's gonna be a dog. I guarantee you, it's gonna be a quality dog that gets cut money just because of the money issue. But we'll see how all that shit go. Excuse my language.
So good. So we were gonna get into some draft conversation, but I think hopefully we can get another episode in early next week before the draft. We could dedicate the whole episode to draft stuff, so we don't really need to get into that right now. But I will ask one draft question before we get out of here. Outside of quarterbacks, which early draft pick do you think will have the biggest fantasy impact? I know we don't know where anybody's going right now, but just based on talent and ability to affect the game at their position, what rookie do you think will have the biggest fantasy impact?
I'm gonna go Jamar Chase. He ain't play last year. If he go to the Bengals with Joe Burrow, it don't matter really where he go because he's just talented. But I mean, he's an early pick, and if he fall to one of those teams that's just missing just that wide receiver, I think he could have a year like Justin Jefferson had. I know that's a big reach because he had 1,400 and like 12 touchdowns, but he got the talent to do it. I mean, he was better than him last year when they was on the same team, or the year before, I should say. So I'm gonna go Jamar Chase.
I think that'd be a popular pick. What about you, Jay?
I think the easy answer is probably Kyle Pitts, just because he's just a matchup problem. But I'm gonna go with if he goes. It depends. Like I think the Steelers go running back in the first. I really think if they get that bruiser like Najee Harris, oh my God! If he goes to the Steelers, bro, it's him. It's easily. I think they either go Harris or probably ETN. I believe
that's the only two options for running back in the first round.
Only two. But if it's Harris, I think if Harris goes to the Steelers, I'll just say if he goes to that team, I'm not sure how other teams will probably use him, and it depends on like what weapons they have. But Steelers need their run game bad. Like we saw it because that's where they started going 5 wide and throwing little short passes because they couldn't pick up those 3 to 4 yards on the ground, especially when Connor got hurt. So, man, if they get him, you get like a nice. Depends who they have still at running back. They probably got a couple backups there. Benny Snell probably there. I'm pretty sure he's still there.
Yeah,
get a nice backup, just so you ain't, work, give him the crazy workload. But I could see him, man. I could see Najee having a crazy year. But the easy answer is easy Kyle Pitts because he's a matchup problem for anybody, no matter where he goes, whether it's to us, Cowboys, anywhere. Eagles, Dolphins, bro. He's coming on field.
He complete any team. He complete their offense. I'm
gonna go on the limb and say Harris.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna take the easy route and go with Pitts. I know Cheese don't like Titans going off the board too early, but I think he'll definitely have a huge impact regardless of where he goes. As long as he's in a decent system, I think he'll have a great year.